Hey, everybody, it's Tim Gillette, and we're back with another Tim Gillette show. Today, I got a special guest. It's only because we've known each other, I think, for 150 years, even though she's only 29 years old. Ask me how we did that later. It's a secret that we'll share in her secret course. She has to get it. You have to get it from her. Anyway, my guest today, Jill Lublin, and I have known each other, I think, for about 8 or 9 years. And have always talked, hey, can we do things together? And it's not until the virtual world comes out that finally we can be in the same place at the same time. Because we never are. Anyway, Jill Lublin, how are you? And welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tim. It's always great to be with you. And by the way, our secret sauce for anti-aging is going to be our next huge, big PR campaign.
Oh, so you do have the campaign. It's all ready to come out. I love it. So... it's interesting that, I've known you as the PR lady for years. I mean, that's what I've always known you as, the PR lady. But yet, I never figured out or got the story of how you ever got into this. I mean, I never got the lowdown details. How'd you get into this?
Oh, God. Well, you will love this.
Yeah.
And that is, I got into it because basically I dropped out of law school. And while I was in law school, however, I started getting very involved in the music business, figuring that would be something that would be fun and interesting and get me through that law school experience. Well, in that, I found my true path, which is promotion and publicity. I found what I'm great at. It's when your whole life goes, yes, this is what I was born for. And that started in the music business, where I actually had my career for 5 years as director of promotion and publicity at multiple independent record labels. So that was super fun. And that's really where it all begun. And from there, I ended up opening up my own PR agency and now writing the book Guerrilla Publicity, and everything kept going from there. Now I'm helping people lovingly in these wonderful virtual publicity classes. So it's all just kept evolving.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I don't know. I love the only thing I ever thought that was interesting was, I mean, I knew Zig personally, as you know that. And Zig, when they told him when he was, his time was up and he's going to be dying soon, he's like, I get to graduate. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, I've been in school my whole life. I finally get to graduate. Because we do. We're always learning new, right?
I hope so. That's why people like you exist, to keep teaching everybody, right? We're all about continuing our education. I think that's very important. And that means all of us. Me too. I keep learning and growing all the time.
Yeah. It is. I keep learning, and just last week, Craig, my mentor, I'm at a thing at his house, and he's go, Tim, so why aren't you doing this? And I mean, he still gives me a new list to go do, and I'm like, I've been in his program for 11 years now, and it's still every time. Okay, now that you did that, let's go do this, and this. Education, got to go learn something new. All right, here we go. How many of your clients, though? I got to ask, are you going? Okay, you did this. Let's move on. Let's go do this now.
Every single one, because like everything, I'm holding up a higher vision, a higher pattern, something for them to reach up into. And the truth is, once you get past any mountain, there's just a whole nother view vista and another mountain to climb, right? So in other words, we celebrate ourselves, we congratulate ourselves for all of our success, and we keep going. Either that or you're dying, one of the two.
Yeah. So I am excited. I mean, you went through my whole process to be on my podcast finally. Probably your assistant did it, because I know you've got her doing everything. But you know how many people have kept putting off coming to the podcast, and I'm like, I've known you forever. Why not? Guess who finally booked a time slot to be on my podcast after 11 years of knowing you?
Craig.
All
right. Well, and, so this is the thing, I think, for all of us, is that the viability of having publicity. I mean, you're wonderful to have this show, and I'm so glad to be on it.
Cool. You've taken the course, different ways with publicity. Are there basics that you tell everybody? So you meet me in public, are there basics that you go, you know what I mean? Hey, go do this and this. All right, let's get you off the ground. Go do this and this. All right. And send people on their way with a couple tasks to do.
Absolutely. The message is the first thing. You got to have a great message, because, You can do the best fill in the blank, you can be the best service provider in your industry. You can have the best product, tool, widget, whatever. The truth is, unless you have a great message that the media can bite onto, then realistically, how will they know at what they want from you? So I think that's really an important piece.
Cool. I mean, I still think I'm working on my message, but anyway, I've always found that.
Wait, I want to tell you something about that, because I think that's important.
Okay, please. Yes.
Yes, you're always working on your message, because you are an evolutionary being, just like everybody who's listening to this. Guess what? Your message evolves with you. So every time I have a new book, I've got 4 of them. Guess what? New message. Every time you got a new launch, a new project, guess what? Might be a new message. And I'm really big on review your message every 30 days. Let's make sure it's in alignment with who you are. It's resonant for who you are, and that it's a message that matters and that's going to go out in a good way. So I think having messages ongoingly are key and important.
Cool. Well, I mean, and as you talk about that and reviewing the message every 30 days, I know that, our world is ever changing, and you teach people really to kind of tie in your message to what's going on in the world. Now, I avoid topics in the world. I mean, I like avoid certain things. I don't want to go near them. But you're teaching some of your clients to embrace them because they matter to their industry. Can you go into that a little bit with my audience?
Absolutely. So, for instance, I want you to plant your publicity garden. So that would be planting seeds for right now, like what's going on right now and how are you relevant? And then I want you to plant seeds for 3, 6, and 9 months ahead. Looking at right now, for instance, Simone Biles drops out of the Olympics, right?
Yeah,
every single one of my coaches, consultants, experts in mindset, transformation, in goals, in anything related to that, I was like, go, go, go. Let's talk about Simone, right? Anyone who's an expert in mental health, go time, right? So take a look and listen to what's going on in the media. When I say that, what I mean is look at your phone and see what the top headlines are. This is not a big process, my friends, that in any way should take a lot of time, but I want you to stay looking at what's going on right now. And then my question is, where can you fit in?
Yeah. No, I know, this goes into, like, I avoid politics like you wouldn't believe on my stuff, right? I just really avoid it. But, Craig said something, my mentor, a couple of years ago during the election process of 2016, because of marketing related to his messaging for the first time. And he said, a year and a half before Donald Trump won, he said, Donald Trump's going to win. Why? Marketing. And he tied his marketing. Now, many people don't want to hear that. I get that. That's why I avoid that subject. But he tied it into it, and he said, here's why. And he shared why, the marketing aspects of why it's working. He says, now, whether you like them or not, why are you not doing the same related stuff in your marketing? And that's exactly what you're doing with people, is going, hey, you talk about, mental health. Here's the perfect subject.
Yeah, well, how about talking about the elections? How about my dating expert, who's a coach on how to date? Okay, Guess what happened? She was featured on one Fox News interview after another. I'm not kidding, all day long, sitting at home in Florida on Zoom, on ABC and multiple Fox News networks. Why? Because her theme, as we tied it in, was, can a Democrat date a Republican, and can a Republican date a Democrat? And that, my friends, is what got her into so much media, tying her general topic into a bigger theme. Yeah,
exactly. All right. And again, these are things I avoid. All right. And I don't want the publicity from them anyway, but that's a whole nother thing. But your clients are not, many of them are seeking many different ways to get attention, to get into their clientele. I'm seeking my attention to get the clientele I want. So I know what news media or what things to use. In your case there, all right, the type of people you want, the dating, for instance, all right? Who's going to be out there, and everybody, whether they're on Republican or Democrat, are going to want to date sooner or later. So you would fit into that, you know what I mean? And that's just brilliant to do it, all right? Do you have anything that you tell people, well, avoid this because you're going down a rabbit hole if you do?
Well, I'm kind of with you, Tim, in not taking too strong a stand on politics, for example, maybe religion too. The typical topics where people would disagree. And here's the thing, I like being confrontive at times when that works. So if you want to take a tact and be confrontive, go for it.
Mhm.
But I would tell you, on the whole, like, if you notice, my dating coach didn't talk politics. She only
No.
said, can a Democrat date a Republican, and can a Republican date a Democrat? Which, by the way, they can, as long as their communication is excellent.
Yeah.
The, the point is that that was not, she wasn't talking politics. So I tend to say, stay strong in the areas that you're strong in, but then figure out a way to tie it together. Like,
Mhm.
I'll just tell you, I was on an ABC TV in Dallas, Texas, your fair state.
Mhm.
And you know why? Because I was talking about the largest ad agency that got fired when the CEO made a racist remark. And, they represent Motel 6 and Home Depot and huge places. Well, here's the thing. So they wanted me on the air because why? Not because I had opinions per se on that, but because I'm a publicity expert and know the ramifications of a CEO making a pretty stupid racial comment, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so that is what landed me on that TV show. But here's the
Brilliant.
thing, not like I knew a lot about it. I want you to all hear this, because here's the thing, most media interviews are 4 to 5 minutes. They're fast, they're focused, and you can sound smart. You look up the article, you see what's going on, and you decide which side of the opinion do you want to be. That's honestly what it is. And I remember when a producer brought me on, he said, hey Jill, welcome, so glad you're here. Before we even went on Zoom, I said, this is not a good day to be that agency. He
Mhm.
said, that's the quote I want you to start on camera with that. Tim, that was an opinion. And what I want
Yeah.
your listeners and viewers to hear is that media is a lot about opinion.
Mhm.
You all have one. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, exactly. So that being said, I know, Jill, you're kind of like me. You're an old timey person. You're great. You've been great on stages. I've seen you on stages in Dallas, all right, in LA. I've seen your stuff from around the country, but 2020 changed our whole world with publicity because we now went to a virtual world. How did you adapt?
Well, here's the good news. The media all went virtual too. I just told you I was on ABC TV in Dallas.
Yep.
I didn't have to get on a plane and go anywhere. Woo woo.
Yeah.
And guess what? Even before that, the truth is you can Skype in, you can Zoom in, you can do so many things with media. You don't have to be right there in studio, particularly obviously on radio, on podcasts, yes, blogs, yes. I mean, you do not have to be there. So how did I adapt? Everything went virtual. Good news. And now I'm teaching my clients about looking great on Zoom and how do you make sure that you're showing up well, right? And I made my publicity class, which I used to teach both live and virtually. It's all virtual now. Super great, just one day. So that actually got better. I think that every one of us has to see what it is we're offering and then adapting it to a virtual environment. So I just did the adaptation. Please, my friends, and I don't care where we are in the pandemic or what's going on, you've got to be adapting your business to the times that we're in, including now. Here's the good news. Listen, I got acupuncturists on Zoom. I've got exercise people doing classes, dance teacher who owns a studio. Her studio had to close down. She's on Zoom teaching dance. You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
All of you, I think, most of you at least, could be adapting some of what you already are doing to Zoom.
Yeah.
And it does work.
Yeah, I mean, I adapted and immediately went to a whole virtual school, if you will, doing a monthly event. I mean, and like, come on, I was in the Dust Vault world. I do live events, and I have a whole new community virtual and a whole new community live. All right, so now I've got two different communities. But some of the other stuff that you know what I mean, you and I kind of like mentioned a little bit before we went live on air was your kindness circles. What are they about? Tell me about them a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's something else that got adapted. So when The Profit of Kindness came out, that's my fourth book. One thing that I got inspired to do, I say God planted a seed in my heart, which is to do kindness circles. So when COVID hit, I'll tell you, it was like, all right, we are doing this now because we need it now and we need it bad. And so the Year of Kindness got born. And literally we meet every month. me and a community. We're over 200 strong now of great people, and we help each other with leads and referrals and networking. And then I have amazing thought leaders like Bob Berg, who wrote The Go-Giver. They come in and we give 10-minute presentations, and then we basically go into circles, all of us. So it's been really exciting, amazing, and I just feel very grateful that we've had the opportunity to lead the world in kindness.
Cool. Yeah, Bob Berg's been like the most visited person on my podcast. He's been here 5 times, by the way.
Excellent.
Yeah, and like I can name all the other people you and I know in the world have not been here as many times as Bob has been here. Anyway, I don't know why Bob loves me that much. I really don't. But anyway, he is a very kind soul, and I'm glad he's in with you on that project because he is also, you know, he's someone that just has shown kindness all over our world today. So I'm glad. So you know, I mean, you've adapted to Zoom. All right. I'm curious. Did you spend any money on a studio or anything last year, like many of us did?
Okay, so I didn't do the whole studio thing, and but I did invest in lights and a nice microphone. Cool. And you know that. So yes, I invested. I didn't set up. I mean, I got the green screen. Didn't do it. I don't do green screen. As you can tell, I don't do them either. Yeah, I think what's really good is a good set of lights and a good microphone, and off we go. Yeah. I invested at the end of the year on new lights and new desk and new all this stuff only because I hit the end of the year and I went, oh my God, I'm gonna have to pay taxes because I didn't have any deductions last year. So I'm like, oh, let me invest in my studio real quick. Smart. Yes, very smart. Yeah, because I'm still gonna use it, but now anyway, but that's it. We changed so much throughout the pandemic. We adapted, we had to learn new things again. All right. What are you going to do as the world starts to transition back? Are you going to do hybrid stuff? Are you going to do some live, some virtual? Tell us about the future, Jill. Well, I'm going to do a couple things. One is I'm keeping all my publicity classes, what I call my publicity crash course, absolutely virtual. Why? Because I can keep the investment lower for everybody. I don't have to run around the world and have meeting rooms. And you know what? It's great. It flows. We figured it out. We got a great flow. And I just think keeping the price really reasonable for everybody makes a huge difference. So super fun on that. That's staying. I'm keeping my year of kindness on Zoom. Why? Because I have people from all over the world and we all want to be kind. I am getting offers to go speak on stages. Absolutely. I will do some traveling on that, particularly for the paid speaking engagements. And then I'm looking carefully at other opportunities, but I'm excited. In other words, I found a way that I have a lot less stress and travel and expense, and then I get to share that with everybody else, meaning make it affordable for everybody else. Yeah, I know. Bob Berg, last time he was on the podcast, said he's done traveling. He says he's going to speak from home with Zoom from now on. It's so much better. It is. All right, and I get it. Bob's not young I'm quite a few years younger than Bob, but like I get it. If I was up his age, I wouldn't want to get on a plane anymore, especially right now. I'd want to, hey, the technology's here. Why aren't we using it? You know, exactly. Joel Comm. I haven't seen Joel Comm live in an event in 3 years. That guy is only virtual. You know, I don't know if you've seen Joel. Do you know Joel? Yes, I do. He's fabulous. And so that's the point is why should we have to travel around? I mean, I miss the hugs. Let me just say, I miss the hugs and I'll get them as we get them. But I think this is an amazing opportunity. And now people are oriented towards Zoom. They understand it. And why not should we all, we all need to be offering several things on Zoom. Yeah. But yeah, it's almost like another aspect because your clientele has to learn how to be comfortable on Zoom. Because you think about it, all right, if you're not, and you get a show opportunity in New York and you're in LA and you get your notification at 10 p.m., you can't make the 6 a.m. in New York. I don't care how much you want to fly there. That's right. You have to be Zoom. That's right. Adaptable. So it's exciting. It's exciting to me. Like the whole world has opened up in terms of media opportunities. And you know what else? Networking. Wow. Networking has been amazing. It has shown though, Jill, and I'd love your thoughts on this. It has shown me the good networkers and the bad ones. Because I've seen a lot. I had a gentleman from Baltimore, met through a friend of a friend type deal. Hey, we're having this network thing. And they plugged it for 2 weeks for me to show up. And I'm not going to name his name, all right? I'm not going to put him down, but I'm going to say this.
when I finally got on the call, I'm here with 4 people and I knew 3 of them.
Okay.
And you want $500 for me to come? I'm sorry. Okay. Let's, you know what I mean? It does give the opportunity for the bad to show up with the good.
Yes.
But let's talk about that in publicity. All right. How many people you come in that you really want to correct them because you realize, oh my God, dude, you're bad at publicity. Let me help you fix this.
Are you saying, are you asking that question?
I'm asking you, yeah, how are you? Because I'm sure you get some people when they come up to you going, well, yeah, I'm good at publicity. And you look at their stuff and you want to go, oh, God, let me help you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just straight with people, most of the time I find that even the desire is what's most important. And you just get started how you get started. I mean, that's one of my specialties, is getting people started, but also leveraging people who are already known, like how do you take the next step and the next step? That's important.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, well, I mean, Jill, I want to make sure, I know we've got to cut today's broadcast kind of short today because you've got other things scheduled, but I do appreciate you taking the time for it. I want to make sure people can reach out to you and take this to the next level. So why don't we give them a website and a place, maybe some freebies you got on the website or something that they can get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So go to jilllublin.com, and it's, I think, right on the screen. Lots of L's in there, jilllublin.com. Check out my free gift. I've got a wonderful way that you can get publicity tips very simply in a well-designed guide that will support you with step-by-step, more fun publicity tips, and an opportunity for a free publicity masterclass. So if you like that, we got more coming to you, and it'd be great to serve you to get your name out there.
Cool. I love it. Well, before you go, Jill, I got a little game I play with all of my guests. It's called This or That.
Uh-oh. Okay.
9 questions. Some of these, Jill, I know you, and we're going to branch over. Other ones, I think we're going to go in depth in. So I kind of give a little bit of time to do this. Number 1, Jill. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Do you even care or know what they are? No.
I do care, but I don't watch them a lot now, to be totally honest.
Yeah. The next one, all right, we've been stuck in our cars an awful lot lately when we drive. Do you listen to a podcast or audiobook in your car, or do you listen to the music?
I usually listen to NPR, or I'm listening to a podcast.
Okay. Yeah. So you got more to the talk as opposed to the music nowadays, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Jill, now this next one here, I think I'm going to wonder how this works, but we'll see here. Are you a dress up girl, or has the virtual thing made you I'm yoga pants and just showing up?
Okay. Well, you notice I have a dress on today just for you, Tim.
You always have a dress on when you see me.
I do. It's true. And so my answer is I'm actually dressing up every day because I'm either speaking or being featured on a podcast or somehow presenting. Guess what? I'm dressed up, but I do have, I must admit, slippers on all the time.
Wait a minute. I think I've put my shoes on in 2021, I think 4 times. So,
exactly. I'm kind of liking this. My Uggs are feeling really good. Let me just say.
So yeah, my first virtual speaking engagement, I wore pajama bottoms just to say I could. And I'm determined, one of my first live speaking engagements again, I'm going to walk out on the stage in my pajama bottoms and go, oh, what? We're not doing the Zoom thing?
Oh, I think that would be very funny. Yes.
That would be me, though. I would do that and get away with it.
I think that would be perfect. Just make sure they're cute.
I have ones with all my whiskey bottles on them. Let's just put it that way. So, next one here's food products: taco or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Hamburger. I knew you were a hamburger girl. I love it. Beer or wine?
Wine. Red.
Wine.
Red
wine. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have certain places you go and I just want to go do a wine tasting, and you could go every day and do a wine tasting? I'm curious.
Yes, I could. And especially because I live near wine country, I didn't even know what, the differences in wine were until I started actually tasting. So now I know what I love, which is Pinot Noir mostly. And, it's good to know what you like. So I also I went to a winery, I don't know, a week ago, and I'm like, everything they gave me, I'm like, ooh. And I felt kind of bad, but truthfully, I know my taste now. And I'm always open to, more fun things. I also love all the Spanish wines, Tempranillos and other fun things.
Oh, we found a winery in southern New Mexico. Think about the land in southern New Mexico.
Dry.
And it's some of the coolest wine we've had because the grapes are grown up in the mountains of New Mexico is why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. My next question. All right. And we kind of covered this, but we didn't. Are you a heels girl or a boots girl?
Boots.
Boots. You know, I'm from Texas and what kind of boots I mean, right?
I do, but I prefer the, sort of nice, fashionable brown ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not a cowboy boot girl, but
Yeah.
definitely boots.
Okay. So my next question here, and I wasn't sure if this was going to be you or not, but I thought this is something that everybody's got an opinion on this one. Apple or Android?
Oh, Apple for sure.
Are you all Apple like me?
I'm all Apple.
Yeah,
Take a bite out of that one.
Yeah, I went all Apple. Craig Duswalt got me down that, and forget it. I started with an iPhone. I went to the MacBook. Now I'm the machine, and everything's Mac. Yeah.
Well, for me, honestly, it's just easier. I'm not a huge high-tech kind of woman, and I personally find Apple easier. But that's just me and how I was trained, and I'm sure an Android person would say exactly the same.
Same thing about Android, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My next two questions are the controversial ones. These ones here have been known to start wars.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh. My next one being, all right, at your house, does the toilet paper go over on the roll or under?
That starts a war. I just want to know if they put the toilet seat down. But my answer is over.
Okay. No. In my house, downstairs, the bathroom that Gwen uses, it's over like Gwen likes it. Upstairs, the upstairs bathroom, mine, it's sitting on back of the toilet. I just want to make sure it's there. I don't care where it is or how it's placed. I want it there when I need it.
Excellent.
But truthfully, I had a girl on here one time about a year and a half ago, and she was a single girl. And she said, well, I'm single. If I go to a guy's house 3 times and change that toilet paper from under to over, I break up with him. This relationship's going nowhere.
To me, that's a little thing in the sea of big things, but it's okay.
Yes. But I said, it starts wars, all right? And even in Scott McCain, when I had him on, he goes, oh, I used to ask that question when I did radio DJ because it would light up the lines. Yeah. My last one may adapt, all right, or it may be a personal preference. I don't know which is which, all right, but I ask everyone. I even ask my mother this question, so you know, and that is boxers or briefs?
Briefs.
Yeah.
At least if he's cute. You know what I'm saying? In other words, good abs go better with briefs, if you know what I'm saying.
I had one, Jill, I had one guy, I had a 45-minute discussion at the end of my podcast about what underwear we've worn over the years and what we liked. Only I could have that on a business podcast, by the way.
I love it.
Yeah. So that was a fun way to actually end the broadcast. One more time, tell them the website that they can get hold of you and the freebie you're giving them today.
Absolutely. So go to jilllublin.com. Lots of L's in there. Look at the screen. And there I have a wonderful free gift for you with more actionable public relations tips that you can use right away, and a wonderful free publicity masterclass that's also part of that free gift. So check it out, jilllublin.com.
Okay. Thanks to those people who showed up live. Mr. Robert Brooker, who showed up, made a lot of comments in here today. I appreciate you guys being here live. And Jill, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule today and being part of our audience and sharing with our community. I really appreciate it.
Tim, you're amazing. You're awesome. I always love being with you.
Thank you so much. So, and if you're in the audience, it's your first time to listen, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel or where you get your podcast. I'm Tim Gillette. I'll be back with another episode real soon. In the meantime, guys, you got to make it a great day. I can't. You can. Bye.